In this lecture, we'll discuss about machine learning. So first, what is machine learning? So we have several quotations here that describes what machine learning is. So first off, we have machine learning is the field of study that gives computers the ability to learn without being explicitly programmed. So this is from Arthur Samuel in 1959. So he was the one who popularized machine learning and actually AI technology. And then a more technical definition is that a computer program is said to learn from experience E with respect to some task T and some performance measure P. If its performance on T as measured by P improves with experience E. So a little bit technical, but generally machine learning is, well, we give experience data to the computer, to the system, and the system will learn from that computer data. So what better way to do to further explain how machine learning works? So let's look at the traditional approach to programming. So when you program, so we have, of course, we start with the problem. So study the problem, we write the algorithm. So we list all the commands. We write in our algorithms, if this happens and do this. If this happens, so in writing the rules, we need to as the programmer, we need to anticipate almost everything that might happen or that the computer might encounter, and we must be able to anticipate it and put in our code how the computer should respond to that. Okay, and of course, we already have the rules, the model input in the computer. And then after writing the code, we evaluate. So we test the program, and if it's good, we launch it. So if it's not, analyze the errors, then go back to the drawing board. Okay, so that's the traditional approach to programming. So in the traditional approach, it's very intensive on the part of the programmer because again, you need to know the problem. You need to have the solution already to the problem, and you must have you must anticipate all possible data that the computer might encounter, all possible scenarios, and you should be able to code into the computer how to actually react to those different scenarios. So that's the traditional approach. Now in machine learning, we have, again, we start with studying the problem. And in addition to that, we have a set or a database, a set of data that we can use to train the machine learning algorithm. Now, in this case, we are not the one who are going to write the rules, but rather, we are just going to input the data to the system, and the system will learn from the data that we input. So the system itself will be the one who will create its own models, start formulate its own rules, and so on, based from the data that we input. And then we evaluate how well does the system the system perform. If it's good, we launch it. If it's not, again, back to the we can analyze the errors. It could be the data might be insufficient, so we just add data. The data is not well represented, so we add proper representations in the data. So basically, in machine learning, the machine itself will be the one to formulate the rules, the models based on the data that we feed them. So basically, that's the simplified approach. And this machine learning, this basic machine learning flow chart or methodology can be further automated. So if you have data, especially for cases that we are, especially in the big data environment right now, where we can, there's a fast generation of large amounts of data. So it's very easy to update data. So we have your machine learning algorithm. We train them using the data, the original data or updated data, then evaluate, launch, and during launch, further testing. It can be, that's why if you remember, if you have your smartphones or even your computers, there's always updates and updates, because they are developing the system based on the data that are coming in the response to to the software. Basically, you are beta testers. The consumers become the beta testers here. So anyway, the automated process is, of course, the machine, the system is continuously being updated as new data come in, even after launching the program. So basically, user input data. So that's the automated process in machine learning. And in this case, since it's automated, there is a less intervention from the programmer. So the programmer can take it easy and let the machine learn by itself. Okay, so in machine learning, it's very popular nowadays because based on the data that we now have, because of course we have a large amount of big data that we have, and aside from that, we can use it. It has a large variety of application. We can use it as a decision-making tool. So how do you do that? So if we have a problem, we can train an algorithm based on the data that we have. So if you can think of it as if you're doing your thesis, you feed your related literature to your machine, and it will churn out the solution to your thesis problem, theoretical solution. Of course, you still need to do the experimental one, or the actual real life experimentation. So that doesn't mean that the machine learning should be the one who will dictate solutions, but it will aid. It will give additional insights that the humans might miss. Okay, because machine learning, we can find hidden patterns, hidden connections in the data that we might miss. So basically, that's your machine learning as an aid in decision making. Okay, so what are other applications for machine learning? So we can analyze images of products on a production line to automatically classify them. So this is in the production line or manufacturing line, QA analysis. Usually packaged products. Usually it's done in packaging line. So it's very fast. So as the product go along the conveyor belt, you have videos analyzing each package or each product that will go, and if it's above or below the specifications, it will eject it. For example, in the beer industry, it is used to detect the how high or the volume of the beer in the bottle. So if it's too high, based on how high the meniscus line is. So you have, if it's too high, it's rejected. If it's too low, it's also rejected. So aside from that, it can detect tumors in brain scans. It has been used, there are several researches, not only in tumors for brain scans, but also other tumors, or even it can be used as an aid in diagnostic tools. Although as an aid, again, it will not necessarily say that you already have a tumor. It can point out the doctors, the physicians, on where to look and a possible scenario. Okay, it can also be used to classify news articles. If you remember your Google homepage, if you're using Google Chrome in your mobile, you have your if you turn on the explore function there, you will see there are some pages, recommended pages. So those are based on your click rate. So what are the Google basically is analyzing your interest, and you actually have a profile, a virtual profile in Google that is tailored to your interest, to your age, demographic, etc., etc. So it can also be used in flagging offensive comments in discussion boards, because if you have visited large discussion boards such as Reddit, so it's very difficult to actually moderate it. So it can be used to flag comments that are inappropriate. And then it can be used to summarize long documents. This is from using text-based algorithm, a text-based program that can actually analyze the composition of your text. It can also be used to create chatbots. You have several applications in Google Play that are basically chatbots. It can be used to forecast a company's revenue based on a performance matrix, detect credit card fraud based on what are the things that you usually buy, and then if you buy something very unusual, it can be a line there that it's a suspicious credit card anomaly. Aside from that, we can also we used to segment clients based on purchases to create better deals. So promo. So the promo, sometimes the promo that you will see on your say Grab or Lazada, it might be tailored specifically based on your profile, what you usually buy, when you usually buy it. And it can also be used to build intelligent bots for a game. So if you were playing Mobile Legends, so against a bot. So, well, it's easier against a bot, but still, it can be used to create, um, if you want to play against a bot, or you are playing with a bot. Okay, so we have several types of machine learning. Actually, in the next lecture, we'll discuss about several types of machine learning.